Doki Doki Literature Club fanbase. I've been meaning to make a video about this fandom for quite some time. And look, I know the people who make the macaroni and cheese that also makes the cigarettes has been gone for about 5 months, but to be honest, I didn't want to be gone for that long and it was not my choice to. I could have went MIA or CIA or something, I don't know. My exact thoughts of this fanbase were from why it existed in the first place to just a sudden appreciation that it exists for, you know, existing. I'm more so of a fan of Dan Salvato's work instead of the internet's bullshit surrounding him and his game that he made. Look, you can get the most beautiful piece of fan art you'll ever see from a goddamn fandom, and then you see the Doki's pregnant. Yeah, pick your fucking poison. I never thought I would be able to talk about Vannamelon Monika roleplay with fucking Deadpool.
Hey, what are you doing?
What? Is there a problem or something? Minecraft is so funny, lol. It's a video game where you gather resources and stuff and build things.
This is such a great segue into the first topic, Vannamelon, yay!
I need to focus!
You may have remembered Vannamelon from my previous video, but I didn't really talk about necessarily too much stuff about her and what she actually did. I just kind of mentioned it. So she just basically makes VTubing content. I think we've already talked about that previously before. The reason why I didn't cover some of this stuff, or just mainly all the other videos besides parodies and other stuff like that, was because if you watch one VTuber video, you kind of watch them all. But, you know, some of the stuff I looked at, maybe my bad not mentioning it in the previous video.
Back in 2016, I used to hate Monika in Doki Doki Literature Club. If you watch my old Fluttershy Plays gameplay of it, I was actually super bitter and unnecessarily snappy towards the game because I didn't really like dating sims or fictional girls at the time.
Okay. I have more questions. I don't really have much stuff in particular to say about Vanna, although I can probably say this is that the characters she plays in her videos and she VTubes are actively better personalities than the actual characters that are in the games. Often more than not, it can make or break the video. Look, I know we're all diehard Vannamelon fans, but her fanbase is just so much more worse. This one isolated incident kind of persuaded Vanna's point of view of Monika the character to the point I think she honestly retired her for obvious reasons. But there was one fan that did something very, very bad that nobody should ever do to any creator, or let alone anybody. I won't go too much into detail, but I'm gonna just be for real. There was a fan harassing Vannamelon because she killed off Monika, quote unquote. It was for a video where the AI Monika killed Monika and says she was the real Monika. I don't know, but this fan was sending her Ko-Fi payments and weird comments harassing her, saying to bring back Monika, and this dude was fucking nuts. If you want the full context of the story, I recommend looking it up yourself, but obviously this set it up precedent for Vannamelon to the point she just retired the character for good reasons. And to be honest, if I had a fan base like this, I would probably kill off one of my most popular characters ever. It's just so weird because Vannamelon was just doing what she liked doing most, and then a parasocial fan came out of nowhere and started screaming, "You killed my wife." I honestly just don't get it because Vannamelon's voices of these characters were not really all that interesting. I mean, Monika is just seen as like the ringmaster game leader thing. Yuri is just not really herself, and Natsuki and Sayori don't even exist actually. And obviously the entire point here is not to slander Vannamelon or hate on her or anything like that. If you VTube, that's fine. Inquisitor Master, I've said it before, same with Vannamelon, but when it gets to a point, I honestly think it's time to hang it up. And that's what Vannamelon did, is hang up Monika, and same with Yuri, I guess. I guess she fucking died. I don't know where the fuck she went. Okay, that's where she went. Nowadays, he doesn't really use Yuri or Monika all too much, and I guess Natsuki and Sayori fucking died or didn't even exist to begin with. She never really even used those models. I don't even think the modeler even made those to begin with. Still hung up on that shit. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I can't get enough of this.
I need to focus!
Can you even classify this as parody? Like, at all? This seems like more of a content form. Or maybe fetish content? I don't know, man. She seems to be in the fucking Isabelle and Cuphead porn or something. Speaking of parodies, Querxes, I love these guys so much. Unless they're stealing fan art.
You ready for the best scrub of your life?
What the fuck?
This is like my fucking dream orgy. I absolutely love this channel with all my heart. Unlike Vannamelon, I think Querxes doesn't outright fetishize the characters or anything in the videos. At least I think so far. Look, there's only so many times I could see Sayori be fucking horny to Yuri. I just start losing my shit. It kind of feels a little strange how they're completely different from their game counterparts. I mean, it's a parody for God's sakes. What else are they gonna do besides, I don't know, Minecraft?
There. Good boy.
How does that remotely make any sense?
Monika and Yuri are pretty much the same for their game counterparts, but Natsuki's a little shit. And Sayori. Querxes animations are really surprisingly good for parodies because they're just based off the actual drawings from the game. But, you know, sometimes I just cut off their legs too. They also recently started putting body tracking to make the animation easier, but I'm sorry, it kind of just looks ass. Look guys, editing PNGs on screen to make them move is not really that hard, come on. It just looks so unnatural, I don't know. What I find kind of impressive is the fact that they keep making these 4 PNGs move on screen and going on different adventures, despite the actual game not being updated in 5 years. I mean, that was probably the worst decision on Dan Savato's part because of the stuff that Querxes makes.
Let's see. 15 mature manga titles? We'll be there in just a moment.
Oh, that's odd. I received those yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're shipping too. I'm not really a shipping guy, but I honestly think Monika and Sayori is so much more better. There's also like a funny thing in the middle of the video where like a VR chat character comes in out of nowhere and starts like speaking up the sponsor for the video. It's kind of funny. Look, all I'm saying is that this is like the funniest channel ever. I love it so much. Look, Monika, Sayori, horny, I'm all for it. This kind of leads into like parody animations or just animations about the Dokis. One of them being Just Art, which I absolutely adore their art. They have this Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network Adventure Time-esque drawing style, and I actually kind of like it. Which makes the jokes even more funnier if it's coming out of this thing right here.
Daryl and Josh, more like Barrel and Squash.
I really like this channel a lot because of their interpretations of the characters. For the most part, they're all basically their normal selves from base game, but I absolutely fucking love Natsuki's attitude so much. Their interpretations are more towards the fandom, which I like a lot more instead of Querxes. Horny Sayori, I can't get over that.
Hi, mommy.
There's quite a bit of shorts on their YouTube channel, but most of it is DDlC related, which is kind of unfortunate because I actually want to see their actual art style instead of DDlC related stuff. I think all the Dokis are voiced by 2 sisters. I mean, I can't really tell because they both sound the same, but one of them voices Monika and Yuri, and the other one voices Sayori and Natsuki. Yeah, I really want to believe this one is fucking Natsuki.
Just pull that out your booty hole.
There isn't really much stuff I can say about Just Art besides their art style is really nice and I like it a lot. I wish they made other stuff that wasn't DDlC related to the point I think I would subscribe for their other stuff. But to be honest, the other stuff is pretty funny too. Everybody in a fan base will have some type of interpretation of a character or characters they like, but I honestly think the fan mods are even worse. They have the worst type of interpretations. Oh, come the fuck on. You can't keep getting away with this. Look, I get it, the Gooners absolutely love these mods, but the Dokis are perfectly 18 or even under that age, and it kinda is just a little weird how these mods perfectly perv on them, despite them being perfectly 18 or under it. If you like it and stuff, go ham, I guess, and I don't know. Look, I kinda just find it a little bit funny or just a little weird at how people would perv on these girls so much. I'm not really with it or against it, but I don't know, it's just weird, okay? If Vannamelon can make fetish content with Cuphead porn, I really doubt these people would actually give a shit. Sometimes the mods don't have to be necessarily pervy on the Dokis, it can just be as easy as just giving them fence. I guarantee you that some of these mod creators don't even go outside. There has been notorious channels that has made weird DDlC mods like Afro and the bike. Why the fuck do I share a name with this guy? I guess his hit classic is that Monika gets pregnant, and I'm not gonna comment on this and you can't make me. I guess there's a big epidemic where people can't release the sauce on the hub, so they make DDlC No Nut November mods. I know I'm fucked up in the crib watching the bike, but it should not have to be like this. I know a big fraction of the fanbase doesn't make these kinds of mods, but it's kind of weird because it's a large portion and it's kind of hard to ignore. When most of the Dokis are like 18, the game is for 18-year-olds, but the art style can and will draw in kids to it. Not saying that's Dan Savato's fault, but The fucking content doesn't make it any better from any of these people. And I find it absolutely hilarious that if you try to like post your banana or some shit on YouTube, you will instantly get terminated, but this kind of shit is allowed on the website. And same with these kinds of ads too. I find it a little cathartic. Don't get me wrong, there are some nice mods out there that aren't particularly NSFW or perving on the Dokis. Examples being After Story after the Doki Doki Literature Club Plus events happen, and the one where Sayori didn't fucking die. MapPad has also played some of these DDlC mods with his wife on GTA Live as well. I like some of them because he just kind of freaks the fuck out. Shout out to Cupcake Plush Productions for pointing that out. Yeah, subscribe to your channel, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Me just being really sexist and perverted towards the DDlC girls.
Speaking of MapPad, I don't really think anybody remembers his game theories about DDlC. If you're around the fandom in about 2017 to about 2019, I think you would remember MapPad's game theories about DDlC, like Project Libitina and Buffsuki. Although yes, Project Libitina is pretty important to the story, I'm so glad that MapPad didn't treat this like his next Five Nights at Freddy's for obvious reasons. There's only so much you can talk about the game before it becomes stale. I don't even know how MapPad made 3 theories videos about it, and then the next one was just Buffsuki taking fucking steroids. I mean, it kinda does make sense once you put all the pieces together and watch every single theory besides Buffsuki. I never really expected Doki Doki Literature Club to be a lore-heavy game. I mean, it's psychological horror, so of course it's going to have a bit of lore, but Project Libitina hasn't even released yet, and maybe if they didn't stop focusing on merch, they can probably start fucking working on the game. You know, those DDlC YouTube's boxes are kind of ass. MapPad isn't necessarily the only one to make theories about DDlC, but his theories are kind of taken as fact because he actually uses stuff from the game files and stuff like that, and nobody else has bothered to cover it in detail, so I guess there's that. I was kind of shocked to find out that DDlC also has a music fan song scene kind of similar towards FNAF, although they don't milk it a lot like FNAF. Most of the songs kind of have a running theme of like a character's perspective, being trapped in the game, Monika, or the plots of the game. You remember I said there was lore? Well, yeah, I guess it's pretty important since every fan song uses the plot of the game. My favorite ones tend to usually be a perspective about a character in a game or somebody that's not even in the game, it's like somebody else who's singing the song. Doki Doki is an absolute fucking bop, while the other ones are kind of just, I guess, okay. Besides maybe Random Encounters, since that's the most iconic one and I just can't get it out of my head.
Oh, harder.
Another favorite of mine is when all the Doki start singing and it's actually really good. I forgot to mention this during the editing of the video, but case in point, Kendrick Lamar versus Yuri.
You remind me of Drake, the way he always staring at them kids. Kill yourself, don't be yourself, honestly, my man, that's just wrong.
It's so peak. You wanna know what else is peak, by the way? Plush videos.
Oh, how dare they move her to the back of the bus?
Hey Yuri, what you reading?
White people are so mean.
What?
Look, I understand I've talked about a lot of stuff I liked in this video and absolutely dick-righted, but just give me a moment to talk about this. Sayori Vlogs has to be one of the best YouTubers on this website. That's no joke. Their content is really good. They mainly make plush videos, but they also make skits, and the skits are even funnier.
Sit on me.
What the hell?
I think her interpretations of the Dokis are far worse than Querxes, but the thing is it pays off because of how ridiculous it is. I would just be for real. Everybody is basically Querxes Sayori. Sayori probably being the worst offender to this.
I'm gonna eat your booty.
No, not my stinkhole.
It all comes back full fucking circle, I knew it.
Mommy.
My favorite characters are Natsuki and Yuri. Yuri being the most relatable one because apparently she's mad that Rosa got sent to the back of the bus and she doesn't like white people. And look, Yuri, I get Rosa got sent to the back of the bus, but I don't think you should be sucking cow udders either.
The fuck do I?
And spit on that thing.
I'll spit on your thing.
Another one is Doki Doki Dubs, although they did wipe their channel out besides one video recently, so I can't really talk much about anything besides the 2025 dubs. The characterization of each Doki has to simply be the best by far, and I know I've talked a lot about the interpretations and characterizations of each Doki, but it definitely does make each characterization important to differentiate from each channel. Also, is it just me, or is the camera work like really good? I've actually never seen this from a plush YouTube channel before. The episode is mainly centered around the Dokis eating food from a fast food place and forgetting Yuri's veggie burger, which actually ensues a very interesting plot. The episode is actually about Yuri coming over her issues and learning to stand up for herself, which is actually pretty interesting. I actually never thought anybody would make something like this, but apparently Doki Doki Dubs came in to save the day. There's also human acting in this as well, which is actually a breath of fresh air. Like, there's only a limited amount of DDlC plush videos, but you either get horny or a masterpiece. Shout out to Worst Trends for just having better commentary in his video about this. Basically all he says is what I would say about it, and it also has the older dub as well and not the 2025 dub. The 2025 dub is alright, but you know, what's really the difference from the older one? I mean, I guess better voice acting, that was actually the point. I forgot to mention this earlier or even at the start of the video, which would have been a better plot point, but the average gameplay from your average YouTube gaming channel was subpar to, you know, alright. You had your multipliers, I don't trust you, Yuri! Your jacksepticeyes and your Querxes, but one standed out to me, and that was Gamegrumps. I don't know why, but their gameplays about Doki Doki Literature Club has to be one of the funniest things in this whole entire cinematic universe. Aaron and Dan's commentary kind of felt more of like friends talking with each other, instead of like a YouTuber just talking to the screen. I get peer social relationships is a thing, but I actually feel like friends with these people and I'm actually playing the game with them instead of like just absolutely having no reaction to a YouTuber who's also playing the game too. I couldn't necessarily recall any good moments from the DDlC gameplays than any other gaming YouTuber did, but with Gamegrumps, there was a lot of moments that I can recall.
He helps me with busy work without me even asking. So you leave faster. You two are really good friends, aren't you?
What gave you that idea?
Whenever they started making fun of Monika being a robot, it was kind of funny because they kind of knew that she was actually a robot in the game source code, which is, you know, how the fuck did they know?
This puss will be overflowing.
I want to mention some smaller stuff before the video ends because I think we got on far enough, so I'll just start listing them here. The P Club is just basically Spanish DDlC, which I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I guess there's a market for Spanish DDlC. I mean, the game is international, so it makes sense. Okie Doki is a DDlC merch review channel that talks about indie games like obviously DDlC and Misai, but is basically the VS Kabum of the community for his commentary and his needed of videos. His commentary is alright for the most part. It's just something I wouldn't really watch myself because of how boring it could be. And the last stuff is animation and parodies, stuff like that. I couldn't really mention it in the video because there's barely any parodies or animations about Doki Doki Literature Club, surprisingly. I probably don't blame the animators because, you know, the game has mature topics. And that's it for this video. Now, I haven't seen anybody cover the DDlC fandom like I'm doing right now, probably besides Worst Trends, so, you know, go like that video. I wonder what's gonna happen to the fan base since DDlC is turning 10 years old next year, which is kind of crazy, but I don't know. Just put a Vannamelon clip up or something.
If I wanted to smash a skeleton, I would have just smashed Natsuki.
Sup y'all, it's been quite a while since you've heard my voice, hasn't it? I'm finally back after 5 months after being homeless and stuff like that. You can look at the other video for context as of what happened to me and stuff like that, but now I'm back after like 5 to 6 months, which is kind of insane. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any criticism or stuff or fan art and stuff like that, you know, just give it to me in my socials and comment section, stuff like that. I have a new Discord server now, so you could come in and chill with us and stuff like that. It's open for like a limited time, unless if I think of a way to like open it for like maybe a couple more months or something like that. A lot of people are now joining the server, which is pretty cool, so I recommend you giving it a try and stuff like that. More videos and stuff on the way. You know, high school is just like trying to kick me in the ass and stuff like that, and exams, but that's pretty much it.
She's got a really nice butt though.